this video I'm going to show you how to create a simple drum pattern with the samples that you have. Right, so the samples we're going to use is this kick sample and the snare sample. They're very short samples, and we're going to use those two to create a drum beat to add to our child rhythm that we already have. First thing I'm going to do, however, the snare and the kick, the tracks are not right next to each other, so I'd like them to be next to each other just to help it be a bit more organised. So I can simply just click on this snare track and drag it up, and now they are right next to each other. So you've got lots of different samples in here, and I've muted most of them so I can just focus on some things at a time. I've got the child rhythm unmuted and the tumby sample unmuted, and then I'm going to unmute the kick and the snare sound. Right, let's just have a listen to the kick. It sounds like this. It's just sort of a kick sound, and a snare sound sounds like this. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy them at different places to create a simple drum beat to add to the child rhythm and the tumby sample. So this is where looping really will not work, because you want to copy the kick in a different place. You don't want it to happen straight afterwards like this. That wouldn't really make any sense. Right, so you must copy it and drop it somewhere different. Now, a kick sound might, first of all, the most obvious place for a kick sound to be is on the first beat of the bar. So within these 4 bars, notice I've put the loop, this red thing at the top. You can deselect it here or select it with this looping button there, and that will make it just loop around these 4 bars, because I'm just going to work in a small section. So I'm going to put the kick sound on every first beat of the bar initially and see how that sounds. So I'm going to press the Alt key, click, and then drag it to the first beat of bar 2, so it's nice and lined up with bar 2, and then do the same to bar 3, and the same again to bar 4, like that. Okay, let's just have a listen to that. I'll just mute the snare because we haven't really focused on that yet. Here we go. Okay, so that just is on the first beat of the bar. This is just a very simple drum pattern to begin with, and you might want to vary it and do something different. Now, the snare pattern, maybe the most simple thing for me to do is to have that coming in on the third beat of the bar. So we have the kick, and then the snare, and then it goes kick and snare. Now, if you can't see where the third beat of the bar is, because there's lots of lines and it's unclear sometimes where it is, if you zoom in here, then you see 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So the first beat is just the bar number. So 1, there's the first beat, 2, there's the first beat of bar 2, and then 1.2 is the second beat, 1.3 is the third beat, etc. So I'm going to put the snare on that third beat, and then I'm going to do the same in bar 2. I'll do it in a different way this time. I can select, right click and press copy, and then I can move the playhead. You might prefer to do it this way, right click and paste. Okay, and I'll do the same in bar 3. And the same in bar 4. There we go. Right, so this is a very simple drum beat just to get me started. Now let's have a listen to this. And then see it loops background. There we go. So that's a very simple drum beat to get you started. You may want to do something slightly different, have a slightly syncopated drum beat, maybe even have the snare sound more than just once a bar, or the kick sound more than once every bar. It's up to you. So you can have a go at creating your own drum beat. Once you're happy with it, as I said earlier, it's better to focus on a smaller section. So once you're happy with what your drum beat, then if you've zoomed out like I've just done there, and then you can actually select all of them together and copy them either using Alt or using copy and paste. I'll use Alt this time, so I press Alt down and I'm dragging it to there, and then you can just copy a longer section to make it easier, so you're not copying every single beat. Okay, so off you go. Have a go at creating your own drum beat.